Alrighty. Howdy neighbors and welcome to the Devine Speaker. This is from the same people who made A Date with Death, and I really liked that one. I thought that had a lot of humor, and I enjoyed my time, so I want to see what this one's all about.
The birth of a child heralds many things. Change, adaptation, confusion, but most importantly,
Guess I'm not reading.
the judgment.
Oh,
A newly born child's first destination isn't its mother's arms, but the embrace of another.
it's Joe.
The Devine Speaker. The person tasked with determining a child's destiny from the day they are born till the day they die.
I kind of like the gloves though, not gonna lie.
This destiny is determined by lottery. The speaker's hand, guided by the forces above, always chooses the correct fate for the correct child. This judgment guides them on the path to eventually becoming the person they were always destined to be.
Till we showed up.
Rain, could we pretty please go play outside?
We promise to be back before it gets dark.
I quickly glanced over to the matron's direction, and she gave me a short nod. I didn't really have the authority to tell them what they could do. That never stopped them from coming to ask me. Oh well, I don't mind. They knew I could never say no to them.
All right, but make sure to be back before sundown. And don't go anywhere close to the forest, okay?
Yay! Thank you, Rain! We promise we won't!
Bye, Tobias.
But why aren't we allowed to ever play there? Can we go when we're adults?
And I'm guessing that's Maya.
No, you can't.
But why? It's not fair.
I let out a sigh, felt a small smile rising on my face. I couldn't help chuckling at that curiosity. They would ask the same question every time they wanted to go out and play.
Come over here and I'll explain it to you.
How about you start by cleaning up the floor first? I walk over to the table at the far end of the hall. The top was littered with paper, children's books, and pencils. Buried among them was a map. Wow, it's an M, not an N.
Look closely at this map while I explain. Our home, Aurelia Cavella, is surrounded on all sides by the forest. The forest is full of bad guys and dangerous animals. Do you know why?
I kind of like Ryan's outfit.
Because the divine beings don't protect the outside land.
That's right. The beings above protect us while we are inside Aurelia Cavella. But that protection doesn't extend outside of our land. No one can survive out there. That's why everyone lives here, where we can be safe and happy. I know it might seem unfair now, but you'll understand when you're older that we're just trying to protect you. There's just nothing out there to find. The forest goes on infinitely, with us right at the center.
Except for that bit right over there in the top right corner. Liar.
Everyone in the entire world lives here?
I guess some people might find it annoying to answer the same questions every day. Not me, though. They're curious and I can't blame them. When I was their age, I asked exactly the same questions to the older kids.
That's right. That's the way it's always been.
But what's this place over there? Zuras?
She pointed the place in the North City. The name Azuras written underneath it on the map.
Ah, Azros? I don't really know much about it, but once you get old, and not old like me, I mean ancient, the divine beings in the speaker reward you for your lifetime of serving them. All the elders go to live there alone in peace and relaxation. I hear it's pretty luxurious, but I've never been there. You can only go when you're called upon.
kids look up at me, obviously interested in hearing more. There just wasn't much more to say. No one really knew what it was like in there. The speaker tells us about the luxuries of Azeroth, and it makes us work all the more harder to one day get in there. That's all we know about it.
Now go out and play before the sun starts setting.
They both scurried off out the door, jumping, running, and screaming the whole way. They really are cute. I'm so happy to have such a great family here. Tobias, Mia, all the others. They're like my brothers and sisters. Well, technically, I don't have a real family, but they've always been more than enough. I was dumped on the side of the road as a baby and ended up here. I never knew my parents, so it's hard to be angry about it when growing up here has been so good.
Rain, may I speak with you for a moment?
I looked up toward that voice I knew so well. The matron of my orphanage. A tough woman, but caring beyond belief. She looked after me my entire life, along with dozens of other children.
Of course, ma'am. What do you need? I hope it was okay to let the children out to play for the day.
No, it's nothing about that. I'd just like to have a chat.
I like your brooch.
You've been with us for a long time already. I found you in the gutters about 18 years ago today.
Had they really been that long already? It's true that I should be coming of age about now. She probably thinks it's about time for me to be moving on.
Yes, it has been a long time. If you give me a few days, I'll say goodbye to the children and start packing up.
What? I think you misunderstand.
She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small envelope.
This is for you. Happy birthday. Go and get yourself something nice.
She smiled at me, so full of warmth, but it quickly changed into a scowl.
Also, don't think you're getting out of here anytime soon. I'd go out of my mind answering those questions every day.
She pushed the envelope into my hands and walked away. Brisk as ever.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'll head out and pick up the groceries you asked me to get earlier then. Be back soon!
The old, heavy door groaned as I pushed against it. I stepped outside, breathing in the fresh air and enjoying the sunlight. The sun was high up in the sky, and a nice breeze soared through the city. It was a beautiful day. But I couldn't help but notice the flowers that were in full bloom yesterday were already wilting. Maybe no one watered them this morning.
Anyway,
I guess that must mean today's my birthday. It's not like I didn't realize it was coming up sometime soon, but it wasn't really at the front of my mind. It's never been a big deal to me. I look closely at the envelope in my hands, white and simple. And this is the first time I've ever been given a birthday present. I'm scared to open it. I almost want to leave it sealed. It's kind of scary being given something out of nowhere. Curiosity was beginning to get the better of me, though. It's always been a problem for me.
okay. 3, 2, 1, go!
Bam. Oh, sorry. I tore the seal open in one fell swoop.
Oh my. By the gods.
Inside was 10 marks, which is more money than I'd had in my entire life, in a letter addressed to me.
Let's see. Dear Rain.
Dear Rain, happy birthday, my dear. I'm sorry we couldn't afford much to give you, but I hope it's enough for you to get something you like. The kids have been saving up just for you. From the day I found you, I've always thought of you as a son. Now that you're of age, it won't be long until you will be matched up yourself and have your own children. Until that day, Please stay with us at the orphanage. Both the children and I would be lost without you. I'm sure if your parents saw you now, they would be proud of you, just like I am. Yours, Matron Arala.
I couldn't stop myself. My eyes welled up instantly and overflowed all over the letter.
Thank you.
They saved all this just for me. I can't let them down. I'll go buy something amazing to share with them. With determination, I started on my way to the marketplace, envelope in money buried in my clothes. The markets were just past the town square, on the west side of Aurelia Cavella. The town square was where new children came for their judgments, and where the speaker made his proclamations.
The beings above sing praise for the contributions you have given to our humble home. Likewise, they implore you to continue giving your lives over to them, for they provide you with protection from the evils lurking inside the forest.
Huh. Looks like the Devine Speaker is declaring something right now.
His makeup, oh my! He's just head to toe in white and gold, the definition of elegance, and his ceremonial gowns. His long silvery hair reached down his back neatly.
I understand your frustrations about our failed crops, but do not worry yourselves, for the beings above have a reason for everything. Soon you will see why they have put you through these trials.
Yes, Lord Speaker!
The failed crops. I think I heard a little about that situation from the matron. It seems this was the first time in hundreds of years that they had failed this badly. And there's some worry about whether they'll have enough or not this winter.
Yes, Lord Speaker.
Yes, Lord Speaker! Let's go! Before I knew it, I was already in the crowd, chanting along with the other residents. The eloquent and beautiful way he spoke is almost hypnotizing. He looks like he's going to be evil in a minute. Which is sad, because he looks fantastic. Most highly respected person in all of Aurelia Cavella. Second only to the gods. Just being in his presence was amazing. The whole time he spoke, the crowd stood mesmerized. I was so immersed, I didn't even notice that he was already nearly finished.
In due time, all of you shall be rewarded with the freedom that Azeros brings. With this in mind, I hope you will continue your offerings and duties. Thank you.
Applause exploded from the crowd as he finished his speech. Smiling, he waved and cast his eyes around the crowd. Yeah, nah, he's about to be evil in a minute. I waved and cheered along with the crowd before his eyes met mine. It was instantly a shock ran through my body. Shock changed to heat, and the heat changed to burning. Before I knew it, I crumpled to the ground, gasping for air. But it felt like my lungs were on fire. Every breath burned my insides even more. Everyone around was watching me. Most of all were his eyes, the speaker's. I could still feel his eyes boring into me, as if he would see everything. Even secrets you kept in the deepest parts of your soul. I have to escape them now. I pushed myself back on my feet, ran as fast as I could, and ducked to a nearby alleyway. I feel the world around me getting darker, blurrier. I fell to the ground in fetal position, sobbing. Abruptly, the pain started to move. It concentrated itself into my left arm, with the force of all my previous pains put together.
Anyone, please.
I shuddered, clutching my arm and enduring the scalding pain before my vision went black.
You must protect, awaken, destiny, judgment.
Yes, ma'am. I looked a few times, didn't work out where I was. The darkness that surrounded my vision wore off slowly as I sat up.
That's right. I was in the town square, listening to the speaker. And then...
Wait, did I collapse here? I quickly checked over my body. The pain was completely gone.
Huh? What? What is this?
When I looked closer, I noticed something that hadn't been there before. The kind of strange markings were running down my arm. It's not a language I'd ever seen before. First instinct... Growl that one again. My first instinct was to try and scratch them off. But it was like it was branded on my skin. It wasn't going anywhere.
I have to get back to the orphanage. They won't know where I am.
When I left, the sun was high in the sky. But now it's already night. How long have I been out? I stood up slowly, holding the wall for balance.
Ugh.
The burning sensation was gone. Now that's left was a sore body. Must be from collapsing onto the ground.
Where am I? I guess I'll head back the way I came.
Through the thick darkness, I followed all the way back to where I came from. Desperate for all this to be a dream. After a little searching, I somehow found my way back to the town square. A few people buzzed about, doing last-minute shopping or chatting with each other. I clutched my burned arm close to my chest, making sure to keep it out of view. I don't know what they'd do if they saw it. And I don't even know what it is. I couldn't help glancing around nervously, like some kind of thief worried about getting busted. That's why I didn't notice when I ran headlong into someone, got knocked off my feet.
Ouch!
Hello? I feel like you need a shirt. Where's the rest of your shirt? Why are the sleeves longer than the torso? It's so extremely... Oh no. I looked up at the person standing over me. He was a tall, lean man, probably in his 20s, with dark red hair that reached down his back and a serious look on his face.
I'm so sorry.
He stood there for a moment, just watching me. His gaze made me nervous. It was like a snake seizing up its prey. That's when I noticed it wasn't me he was staring at, but my arm. I secretly clutched my arm to my chest.
Is this where you usually spend your time bumping into people, or do you have a few favorite spots?
What? No. I don't usually bump...
Ah, I guess this is a privilege then. I feel lucky.
You should. My mouth just kind of hung open. What's this guy's problem? I don't think I ever met someone so rude.
I'm very sorry for running into you. I was just trying to get home quickly, too.
To hide whatever that is on your arm?
Again, it was all I could do to look at him in shock. We stared at each other for a moment before he held his hand out to me.
Let me help you up. If you stay down there long enough, people will start to think you're part of the scenery.
What's this book? Oh, Jesus. So much. Nah. Okay, I can only do one save? Oh no. Custom save name. Nah. Take his hand. I hesitated for a split second before grabbing his hand gently. He pulled me up to my feet. and I could finally see just how tall he was.
Thank you.
Just try not to make a habit of looking so sketchy. Who knows what kind of people you'll attract?
He spoke on his face when he said that was unnerving. I think I should get out of here quick.
Of course. I should really be heading off now. I'm late. Again, I'm very sorry for the commotion I caused.
Damn! Such a high difference. I really turned to leave. This guy was the last person I want to be wasting my time on.
Wait a second. I know something about the markings on your arm.
Are those the knives? Pause! Those are knives. Okay, I want to hang out with you for a little bit. I rolled around to face him again, faster than I've ever moved before.
You do?
Whoops.
I mean, you do? What do you know about it?
I know the Speaker keeps tomes written with the same markings in his personal archive. He's actually allowing visitors, but tonight only. Too bad you seem so busy. This might be the last time it's ever open to the public. Anyway, good night.
Bye, knife guy. The red-haired man turned around and slipped off into the shadows. I was left with his words just hanging in the air.
I guess one more slight detour wouldn't hurt. I'm already late as it is.
I bit my lip, thinking hard on his words. I know I could miss this chance. If it's the only way to find out what these markings mean, then... Determined, I turned toward the direction of the Speaker's archives. It took a while to walk across town to the Speaker's palace. It was large, but mostly empty. I think that's how he was the only resident. It's the first time I've ever heard of anyone being allowed into his personal archives, though. I think even the Lord has restricted access. Maybe it's my lucky day after all. I walked up the door and knocked lightly.
Hello? Speaker? Are you home?
Knocked. The door swung open. It was already unlocked and I could see light from inside.
I guess he's probably already in there, showing the archives to other people. Excuse me.
I opened the door further and followed the corridor down to another door that was slightly ajar. When I entered the room, I almost toppled over in astonishment. Thankfully, I didn't, as it would have been the third time I fell over in a single day. Bookshelves lined the walls, going up to the ceiling. Tomes and documents littered every surface, and the hazy light of candles flickered all over, only furthered my amazement. This is not safe candle placement. It was beautiful. Never in my life have I seen this many books. I walked it further, feeling the spines with my fingers and smelling the musty scent of the room. Various books littered the tabletop in the corner of the room. I walked closer to them. Here were some of the titles. A Brief History. Sid Cam. Bloodlines. There were thousands of books here I would love to read. Somebody's only allowing visitors for a single day. I picked up the first book, Brief History. I flicked through it slowly, reading a few sentences off each page. It looked like some pages were missing. It would jump from talking about the palace being built to the animals that inhabit our land.
Let's see. Foundation? The Kingdom of Aurelia Cavella was founded by Prince Shion on the second eve of Augustus.
Like, August 2nd? Interesting. No, maybe it's the second Sunday of August? So that would... If we're saying the 1st was on a Sunday, then that would be the 8th. Why am I doing this? Okay, interesting. I never heard of who first founded our kingdom. This book must be really old, if it's talking about that. Put the first book back in its place, and moved on to Sid Cam. It was different from the other books, a journal. I opened it, found that every page was covered in black ink, making it unreadable. Looked like someone had a bit of an accident with this one and an inkwell. Was it purposeful? Bloodlines was next. Picked it up from the pile. I went into the middle. The name should have given me a clue, honestly. It was some kind of record of births for what looked like the high-class bloodline. This page, the bloodline started with King Shion of Sircoin, 10XX, and moved down to the more recent times. It ended with Prince Caspian.
I keep reading about this Sid Kayam. I wonder what it means. Wait a second.
Kayam, whoops. Prince Shion was the founder of our city, right? That must mean this is the royal bloodline. But why does it only start 500 years ago? Aurelia Cavella has always been here for thousands of years. Must be a mistake here. Surely people had to live somewhere before then. And everyone knows there isn't anywhere inhabitable outside of these protected lands. There's only here in the forest. I flipped the page over to the next one. Page filled with strange markings, a script I'd never read before. I hurriedly pulled up my sleeve to compare them and found some matching characters. The layout was similar to that of the royal bloodline, so it must also be a list of names, but who?
It looks like the last person added to this list was 19 years ago.
So absorbed and trying to work out what that meant. I didn't hear the sound of someone opening the door behind me.
Well, well, well. An intruder in my archives?
Hi. I whipped around to face the voice. It was none other than the speaker himself. I'd never seen him up so close. I hid the book instinctively inside of my cloak.
Speaker!
I dropped to one knee in front of him out of respect.
Thank you so much for having the archives open today. I've never seen so many books.
Excuse me? Having the archives open?
He looked at me with visible... words. Happen. He looked at me with visible confusion on his face.
That's right. The man in the town square. He told me.
Wait, what? I definitely heard him right. He said it was open to everyone. Then why does the speaker look like he knows nothing about it?
I'm not sure who told you what, but my archives are off limits to all but myself.
Behind him, I could see guards appearing from every direction.
Trespassing in a restricted zone is an act of treachery. The only punishment fit for someone betraying their own home is death.
Well, this is a short game. I could feel my stomach drop when he said that. Death. Death? Never heard of anyone sentenced to death. No, this is all wrong.
No, wait! Please! I'm not betraying! I just wanted to read...
I don't know what your intentions were coming here, but I must act in the best interest of both our residents and the gods. Guards, take him.
I mean, I guess.
Now wait there just a minute, Speaker.
Oh. I see someone pushing through the guards, making their way to the front of the crowd. It was our Lord, who works with the Speaker to uphold our lands.
We're not equipped to suddenly have a public execution, Sir Speaker. We haven't needed one in years. In this case, I think it would be best to exile him. Being out there in the forest is a death sentence anyway.
My heart dropped even further. I thought he had come to my rescue, but what he was suggesting was worse than death. No one in my lifetime has ever been exiled. The things you would endure out there would be much nastier than the quick hanging you would get here.
Please! I didn't mean...
Silence.
He stood in front of me, his icy eyes digging into my own soul. I couldn't help but think about earlier, in the town square when our eyes met. I flinched away from his gaze.
Perhaps you're right. Why dirty our own land with the blood of a criminal when we can let nature take care of it for us?
I'm looking at his outfit and I realize his like jacket cape thing is kind of stupid. So I have to retract my statement that his outfit's cool.
Guards, take his arms. I'll escort him to the forest's edge.
Both my arms were seized by the burly guards. There was no hope of escaping. All I could do was follow behind the speaker, being pushed from behind the entry. I hung my head in shame as I was paraded through the town, see the faces peering at me from windows everywhere I went. All I could do was look down to the ground. Who would blame them? I would watch too.
Release him. You may go. I will handle this from here.
2 guards saluted before marching off back into town. Once we couldn't see their backs anymore, he spoke.
I don't know why you would do what you did. Nevertheless, you must now live with the consequences. This might seem unfair. It would be best for you to learn just how unfair this world can be, though.
I looked up into his face. I couldn't tell what he was thinking at all, but I was mesmerized. He reached out and lightly caressed my chin with his fingertips. Up close, his long eyelashes trembled in the wind, and he looked almost ethereal. Like he himself was one of the beings above.
You look just like your father did.
Kiski? Who? Before he released my face. Oh, at that, he released my face and turned to leave.
Run. Run and don't look back. Just like he did.
His back slowly disappeared into town. Thought about going back the same way, hiding at the orphanage. But everyone just saw me being marched through the town like that. There was no other choice. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully, I will see you later.